Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward. Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast, Paranormal Talk with Heart and Soul. Tonight's segment is pre-recorded, streaming on United Public Radio Network 107.7 New Orleans, 105.3 the Gulf Coast, YouTube, and any place you find your favorite podcast. I'm your host, Kat Ward. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Looking for a great new podcast? Join my friends Justin Cancelleri and Eric Skriback on Paratruth Reborn. Explore mysteries beyond the veil every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on UPRN, YouTube, and wherever you listen to podcasts. So tonight, my Haunted Hearts, my guest is Lee Hatfield, a seasoned paranormal investigator known for bridging the gap between scientific inquiry and unexplained phenomena with a focus on evidence, methodology, and emerging technology. Lee approaches the paranormal through a critic's yet open-minded lens, seeking answers where conventional science and the unknown intersect. On this segment, Lee will discuss where science meets the paranormal. So welcome.
Are you sure we're live this time? Oh, hi, Kat. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I just can't get my background to work, but that's okay. At least I've got the recording.
Look at mine. Look. Mine's like Sean Bean, and don't worry about it.
I love Sean Bean.
He speaks quite highly of you too.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Well, now that I figured out why it was a user error, that's why when we tried to...
So let's get it right. Just for the record, I couldn't hear you, so I'm pressing all my buttons my end, and then when I finally heard you, you went, oh yeah, it was me, sorry. Like, what?
And I scared the crap out of you when I finally figured out, and I said, can you hear me now? And you're like,
yeah, I thought, okay, I'll take a nap. Oh my God.
Well, my listeners know that I'm not very tech savvy a lot of times. I don't have as many, I'm going to call them glitches as I used to have years ago, but they still happen. Sure? I'm going to call them glitches.
Okay, let's do that. Let's call them glitches. Listeners, you've got a problem.
User error. Yeah. Oh, well. So thank you so much for being on the show. I really look forward to this because you live not too far from me. So I'm always excited to interview people that live in Canada.
Yeah, I think was it like an hour and a half or something like that?
Depending how fast you drive, yeah, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Hey, I'm trying to drive emergency vehicles.
Oh wow! So before we get into this, could you tell the audience, my Haunted Hearts, a little bit about how you got into the background, the name of your team, and everything?
Okay, so I'll do it. I'll do everything. So the first thing that really got me involved with the paranormal, I was a paramedic in the UK. Okay, you can't tell by the accent.
No, we can't. No.
And it was a Saturday night. My normal crewmate had gone sick, so I'd got a new guy. First time I'd ever met the guy. And we're just talking about all the normal stuff, like the weather and football, real football, not what you guys call football. Soccer. And we got called to a cardiac arrest. First job of the evening. So I was a paramedic in charge. He was not as trained as myself. So I'm okay, you need to do this, we need to do that, all that kind of stuff. And then we're taking it in turns doing CPR. And he went, the spirits stood behind you. It's telling you to stop. And I'm like, what? He went, yeah, the patients, the spirits actually stood behind you. And it's saying that you don't have to continue. So, okay. And I went, well, with all due respect, please tell the patient that I've got a job to do and I have to try to get him back. So he went, oh, no, he's okay with that. He just like letting you know that he's not coming back. And we worked on him for at least 20 minutes and we didn't get him back. And we was a good 40 minutes away from a hospital. So we worked on once. And it's like, so we did all the, unfortunately, your husband has passed and all that got this guy back on the ambulance. It's like, dude, you can't tell me that in the middle of cardiac arrest. And I went, why don't you tell me at the beginning of the evening that you was a medium? You went, yeah, maybe I should have done. So that
maybe, yeah,
that kind of got my interest going. But this was at the time when all these teams never existed that do now. So in the UK, we'd got Most Haunted with Yvette Fielding and from
David Okora used to be on there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Derek Okora and Kieran O'Keefe, who I've had on my show. And we used to love it, but it got a bit tedious because it just seemed like as soon as the lights went out, it was like a scream fest and everyone used to scream and then, oh, something just been thrown. So you kind of took it with a pinch of salt. And then I married a Canadian who lives from where you're from.
Yes.
Somewhere that way.
You have good taste, sir.
Well, thanks. Yeah, that ceased apparently. So I moved to Canada in 2013. Didn't really. I'd always had a history. Already had a like interest in the paranormal and stuff like that, but you just kind of took a back seat. And then 2024. This is the kind of people that Kat is because she lives from where my wife was born. We had a Valentine's Day investigation. So my wife bought me one ticket. One. What? Not two. One. So she sent me off to this investigation because she knew that I was into it. One ticket. That's all I'm saying. And I met up with Logan and Valter. They'd got a couple of gadgets with them, so I started talking to them. And both of us were kind of involved with other groups that weren't going the way that we wanted to go. So we kind of passed details, and 2 weeks later we met up in a pub close to me in Ottawa, and we toyed with the idea. We all decided that, yes, we're all on the same page with what we wanted to do. And then S.I.P.A was created. Basically, we've got a notepad and we need to have paranormal in it. Okay, we need to have we want to be like the scientific base, kind of like using the proper equipment rather than just go ghost. Okay, so we wiped down, and then we decided that it was going to be S.I.P.A, as in scientific investigation of paranormal activity. Doesn't mean that we're scientists, but we like to use the equipment that you can buy for construction, like a tri-field can be used for construction. So we kind of use that kind of equipment rather than like a K2, for example. And then over the last couple of years, we've been on quite a few investigations. And then February of 2025, I decided to start a podcast because apparently I talk quite a bit, but I don't know where people get that idea from. And I've just started season 2 as of this new year. You're on mute, Kat.
Like I said, user error. I'm sorry. Oh, Lordy. I hadn't noticed about the talking. That's okay.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
But what's funny, my hometown in England is Boston.
Oh.
But it's the original one where kind of like the Mayflower and the Pilgrim Fathers. So that confuses a lot of North Americans too. So, and we have a little village outside called New York.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, most people don't.
No. Wow.
But you don't sound American. That's because I'm not.
Oh, I love it when I speak with Americans. They're like, you sound like us. You don't sound Canadian. I'm like, okay. Is that a good thing?
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know.
Exactly.
So at what point did the science become central to your approach?
So right at the very beginning, when I was talking to Logan and Valter, we wanted to be able to debunk all the natural phenomena that we possibly could before. So yeah, we wanted to investigate the normal before we investigated the paranormal. So with that being said, I did a lot of research and I went on a few courses, and then you find out things like sleep paralysis. People can have hallucinations and stuff like that, but it's a natural phenomena. Electromagnetic fields. If you've got dodgy wiring and you get a load of it, again, you can get hallucinations and apparitions. So we wanted to go down that route. Carbon monoxide can cause it as well, cause apparitions and sickness and headaches. And so we wanted to be able to roll out all the normal stuff before we start playing with the gadgets. Because if you go to someone's house and they've got noises in the attic and they're concerned enough to call you out, if you then go up there and go, okay, you've got a bird problem, you've got a rat problem, and it's not paranormal, you're still helping that person. And that's the key at the end of the day. It's not just going in there and going, oh my God, I was too scared to go up into your attic. It sounds really scary. You're just gonna scare the bejesus out of somebody. And you're not helping anybody. So we are not unduly worried if we don't find anything paranormal, as long as we can put a natural explanation to it. So even though we have scientific in the name, it doesn't mean that we're all scientists. We just want to try to rule out every natural phenomena that we can.
Yeah, not everything that goes bump in the night is paranormal.
No, it's normally the wife going to the bathroom or something.
How do you personally define the line, if any, between science and the paranormal? Like, are they the same?
No, they're not. So I'll tell you why, Kat. Because
please do.
I knew you was going to say that. So the first thing that we like to do, we can't do it at all locations, especially if you've got like a pay to play location, as we call it, like a prison or something like that.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't always go around and do your baseline observations. Yeah, especially if you're paying to be there, you want to try, and there's already reports of it being haunted and stuff like that. You want to get involved and you want to see your own evidence for yourself. But if we get involved in a private location, we're not just going to turn up and go, right, you say it's haunted, we're going to believe you, let's get all the toys and gadgets out. We've got a questionnaire that's like loads of questions, and we are quite serious in the kind of questions. So if somebody has got a genuine concern for the paranormal, they're going to answer the questions, because it does go, are you on any medication? Have you got any mental health history? Not necessarily issues, because that's pointing the finger that they still got them. Have you mental? So, and then once they've filled it in, we will go and discuss this questionnaire with them, and we'll go through point by point. Because even then, you may be able to go, well, it could be this, but we'll investigate this before we look at anything on the paranormal side. And a perfect example, we went to a private property, and this young girl was absolutely obsessed with the fact that she'd got spirits in her house, to the point where she goes, this one sat on the sofa next door to my boyfriend right now. Sort of like, we don't think there is. And I went, how do you know this? She went, I'm using my phone.
Oh, yeah.
And I went, so what app are you using on your phone? She went, Snapchat. And I went, what? And I went, you do realize that Snapchat's a filter app. So you can get the bunny ears and stuff like that. And what it's trying to do, the creases that you've got in your sofa, it's trying to make it into a human face. So that's why you are potentially seeing what you think is a spirit. And then she had a dog barking at the cupboard. She went, the dog's not barking there for any reason. It does it all the time. I went, where do you keep your treats? She went, in the cupboard. So you kind of got the hint that the things that she was saying were, she just kind of wanted the attention, but it wasn't of a paranormal nature. So even though we may be disappointed ourselves because we can't find anything fun, we still do a proper job and a thorough job, and we will say, well, actually, this is what your problem is. Yeah. And like we have been to locations that have got extremely high EMF, and other teams that have been there have got, oh, this happened, and I've got my tri-field, and it's literally going off the scale. But then you go out into the other room, and there's a big electrical power box. Yeah. So it's like it's not necessarily paranormal in nature. So we do try to be really strict with ourselves to rule out all the natural phenomena, and there's loads. Yeah, we can't cover all of them, but yeah, we try to do our best. But then it also depends on what information they're telling us as well, because it could be, look, I'm hearing voices. Well, have you got any evidence of that? Well, yes, I have. I recorded this, and then you can analyze that as well. So, yeah, unfortunately, the private investigations are very few and far between. But so then we have to like iron out our skills at the public ones. But like I say, yeah, these locations are pay to play kind of things. So
yeah, you just because I tell this to a lot of people, just because you're getting some kind of a reading on the equipment you're using doesn't necessarily mean it's paranormal. Figure out why is it doing that reading. Like you got to delve a little deeper.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons why as soon as we do an investigation, we've got our base station. It will be, right, everybody either puts their phones on airplane mode or leaves them by the base station. We have walkie-talkies, but we never use them. So we do try to rule out anything that we're doing that affects the investigation. And then if we do find something during the investigation, we try to debunk it, replicate it, to try and rule it out. And a perfect example, we went to a fantastic little hotel in Casanova, New York State, last June. And we were setting up, there was 2 haunted bedrooms, and we basically booked them both. So we're setting up the tripods, and there's a TV in the corner on a wooden stand with double doors at the front. Just getting the tripods out, there's nowhere near nobody's within 2 or 3 feet of this cabinet, and the door creaks open. So we're looking at each other going like, okay, this place is haunted. But then we spent the next half an hour at least putting the wooden catch as close to it being off as possible, banging the side of it, jumping up and down on the floor, doing everything we could to try to get this latch to dislodge, and we couldn't. And we were talking like the minuscule amount of catch before it opens, and was hitting it really, and we couldn't get it to open again. So it's like, okay, ghosts 1, S.I.P.A 0.
I have so many questions. Can you walk us through how your team does an investigation, whether it's a private residence or whatever, like right from the start to the finish?
Yeah, so there's 3 core members, me, Valter, and myself, and then we do have other team members as well. So while they are setting tripods up, and Logan's got a background in film. He works in the film industry. So while he's setting cameras up and tripods and getting the base station set up, so we know where the cameras are going to be and all the angles, I will literally walk around the property. I do my own thing. Sometimes I'll get another team member with me, and I will literally walk like from top to bottom with the tri-field. Yeah, I've also got a black mold detector as well. I've got a carbon monoxide detector.
Really? Black mold detector? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, black mold can create hallucinations as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I have to write this down.
Yeah, write that down, Kat. Oh,
yes.
You got a pen? Go.
I do. Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we go around with those in our hands, and we'll literally like go from like one wall, and we'll cover the entire property. And then obviously then if we get a peak in EMF, we will make a note of where this peak is and how far away from the wall, for example. So, okay, yeah, after a foot, it drops by 50%. because you're getting constant readings on your tri-field.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically go around and we'll do base readings. And we've got thermometers. I've got not a FLIR, but I've literally got like I'm going to say a heat gun. Then I'm not a Martian, like a heat. Yeah. So we go around looking for hot spots and all that, and we literally like roll out as much as we can before we start, because and this is something that a lot of people don't take into account. A spirit level that a carpenter uses that's got the bubble.
Oh, yes.
I have one of those in my kit, because if you come up to me and go, oh yeah, this door creaks open by itself, the first thing I'm going to do is to plumb the door to see if it's level and if it's balanced, because if it's
brilliant.
And if it creaks open, and then if you've got creaky floors and stuff like that, don't put people laugh and joke about cat balls, but the way that we do it, we have a vibration sensor. Mm-hmm. We call it an earthquake sensor, but which basically it is. If anything moves, it will light up. Mm-hmm. So we put the cat ball on top of it and then put it somewhere that's not easily going to get kicked or anything like that. So if one goes off without the other, because both of them are vibration, then there's something to look at, because you're not going to get one going off without the other, because they're both, like as I said, they're both vibrations. So we do things like that to double like protect ourselves for anything that could be mistaken for rational phenomena. So if we had all the time in the world, I would spend a good couple of hours going around a building, because most buildings that we go to are 2 floors, mm-hmm. at least, if not more.
Yep.
So to go around the entire building is going to take a good few hours. But if you're paying to play, you've only got a set amount of time. So I will do a quick scan of the area, mm-hmm. and then because literally on your tri-field, you can just walk around, and if you see it flick, you just back up. Okay, there's something here. Mark it on a map. Because you take a notepad and pen with you, old school. Draw the room. Okay, there's something here that is picking up. So if we have something in this area, it could be related to the EMF, and so you get a rough idea of what you're dealing with. A little bit harder in places like prisons, because you've got thick walls and stuff like that, but you've still got a lot of electrical conduit and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So potentially you could still get dodgy wiring. So even though jails are known to be really cool for investigating, mm-hmm. you still might be a natural phenomena.
Could be. Have you ever because you wouldn't be able to do it at the pay for play locations, like you say, it would be more of a private residence. Have you ever asked the client if you can turn the power off to the entire house?
We haven't been in that situation as of yet.
Okay.
But we kind of have our plan of action ready. So
okay.
If it's possible to turn the power off, by all means do it.
Yep.
But what you've also got to take into account in this day and age, modems and things like that are just going to reset themselves. You're in Canada, you get power outages all the time. Mm-hmm. But you just got to be careful of like fish tanks, freezers, stuff like that that's going to damage food, or like injure, and not injure, but affect wildlife, fish and stuff like that. So you've got to take that into account as well. But if you're in a location that you can switch the power off completely, fill your boots, go for it, because you're completely taking away any possible EMF and stuff like that.
Yep. Do a base reading first, and then turn the power off, then do another reading and see what happens. Yeah.
But it's quite funny how people always like to investigate in the dark.
Yeah.
But there's just as many paranormal instances in daytime than what there is at night. People just do it because it's spooky and it's cool, but you don't have to investigate in the dark.
No. There's also another reason why people would like to investigate at night, because a lot of times your equipment just it has its own light source inside, so it might be easier if it's dark.
Yeah.
It's quieter, But yeah, we've had clients before that they've had activity during the daytime. Why go at night? The activity usually happens in the daytime. So,
yeah. And one of the main reasons why people go at nighttime, it's quieter.
Yep.
Not as many people about, less traffic. A lot of the normal stuff that would be there in the day-to-day, like computers, stuff like that, would be switched off. Okay, your air conditioning, maybe you could switch that off for a couple of hours, as long as it's not in the summer and it's not 40 degrees.
Yeah.
But all the opposite, where it's like in the middle of winter, because hi, Canada, where it's like it gets cold.
It could be minus 40 Celsius.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to take that into account as well.
Yeah.
So there are possibilities where you can turn the power off. However, you've got to judge your bets to what's the best practice, really.
You could get your long johns out and investigate with the furnace shut off in the wintertime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. three pairs of long johns, and
I'd say use a snowsuit, but those are very, very loud when you move.
Yeah.
There it is. It's a ghost.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's Lee walking around the corner.
Yeah. So, Lee, do you see the paranormal as something outside science, or simply ahead of what science can currently explain? So, in other words, they haven't caught up to each other yet.
That. So I did some courses when I first started, because I'm one of these people that I need to know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not being nosy. I just need to have a good background, because if I want to be talking about it and I haven't got any answers, then I'm going to look dumb. So I went on ghosts and hauntings courses. I went on a poltergeist course. I went on an introduction to demonology. I did a cryptids course, and I now actually teach a course for a company in Halifax, your neck of the woods, on paranormal equipment. But I'm really truthful about it. This is good, however, as long as you use it correctly. But I do believe, because people say that parapsychology and it's a pseudoscience. Yeah. But it just means that they haven't been able to develop it enough to use it correctly yet. And for people that don't understand what I mean, if these scientists are saying that there's no such thing as ghosts, how come there are so many examples of people encountering visions, feeling sensations and stuff like that? Like you could be smelling roses in the middle of winter when there's no flowers nearby, nobody's got any perfume on, but it used to be like a florist or something like that. And so okay, explain that. I was at a location a few weeks ago and I felt the sensation of having my hand grabbed. But my immediate reaction was, it was cobwebs. But I was actually in a slanted part of the roof where you've got the cut off for the window, and I'm actually stood in there. So if it had been a cobweb, my shoulder or my arm or my head would have taken the cobweb out. Plus the fact my hand was hanging out my pocket. So it was close to my body. So for me to actually get the sensation that my hand was grabbed, okay, explain that, Mr. Scientist. And they'll come up with, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be the other. Yeah, it could be, but it also could be a ghost.
Yeah.
Let's be honest with this. Yeah, we're not saying that they do or they do not exist. And don't even get me started on some of these TV shows where they go, oh, yeah, that door just opened. Okay, what's behind the door? And you never see what's behind the door. Or, oh, something was just thrown at me off camera. Yeah, so don't get me started on that.
Oh, yeah, like when they say, did you see that? No, because the camera was on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that happen. Another example at this place in New York State we was at. We were there for 2 nights. We were in nice old 4-poster beds that's got the old duvets on, not the old blankets, the old-fashioned blankets. Yeah, you and I are old enough to know what blankets are on beds,
Big
not
quilts
just
and
duvets.
stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I climbed into bed, and we've got these blankets. It's like 2:00 in the morning. So anybody that's ever been in a bed with blankets, if you make a movement and you form a space, then the blanket will dip and it will kind of fall into the space where your legs were, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I'd literally been in bed for, and this is no word of a lie because I was still awake, at least 1 minute to 2 minutes maximum. So I wasn't tired. We hadn't been drinking. I don't smoke. I was still awake because I was still getting comfy in bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I closed my eyes, and I always kind of start on my left side, and then when I'm comfortable, so I was still on my left side, and I felt a sensation, a really heavy sensation that somebody had sat on the bed, and my feet hadn't been to the left-hand corner of the bed because I was in the center of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the blankets weren't settling or anything, but it was a really heavy sensation. I opened my eyes and I kind of saw this white apparition go past the bed. And I thought, I can see something. And no more as I just reached across to get my phone because all the cameras were off because we'd finished the investigation, and it had disappeared.
Of course.
But to get a heavy sensation in a part of the bed that you hadn't been moving, because I was in the bed by myself and it was a huge bed, to then open my eyes and see something going past. Like I say, I wasn't tired. I hadn't been dreaming because it was literally 1 or 2 minutes after I got into bed.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like, what was it?
Something wanted to tuck you in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. and that's the thing. You've got to, going back to what we were saying, they've got to be able to explain everything black and white. Okay, this cup is now floating in the air, but my hand's on top of it. But if it floated by itself, okay, Mr. Scientist, explain that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see things moving that can't possibly move without human intervention, but the camera's been on it for the entire time and nothing has touched it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, they can't prove anything unless they've got the evidence. And it's the evidence that's the problem. Because you can experience something. I've told you about a couple of experiences that I've had, but they are personal experiences. Only I had my hand touched, or what I felt a sensation of my hand being touched. My colleague, who was 6 foot away, a few minutes later got his head touched. And as we're both on camera, you can kind of, the guy at the base station was watching us and he went, no, I saw you both at different times.
Yeah.
So you obviously felt something that wasn't there at the time. So what was it?
Mm-hmm.
So I like putting these some of these scientists to the test. One of my friends is a parapsychologist and he tries to debunk stuff. I'm like, no, give me an answer. I can't. No, give me an answer. And I did that with Kieran O'Keefe. It's sort of like, Kieran, give me an answer. And he went, I can't give you an answer. I went, so what are you putting it down as? He went, unexplained, because I can't give you an answer.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So you kind of do believe, but then, yeah. But to be a good investigator, you've got to have a certain amount of skepticism anyway.
Yes.
Because of all the reasons that we've said already for natural phenomena. Yeah, a door creaks open. Okay. Yeah. Is it hung correctly? Yeah. So, yeah, if you've got pets and stuff like that, yeah, something brushed past my leg, but you don't see the cat walk off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, something touched my leg and the cat was like really quick and went around the corner. Then it's sort of like, yeah, but you could say, I think it might be this, but you can't say for definite. So the jury is still out.
I think we need different equipment, but I don't know what.
Yes. Yeah, and don't use a ghost hunter app on your telephone. My God, how old am I? Imagine picking up the dial. Look.
Oh, jeepers. That would be funny.
Yeah, selfie.
Yeah.
Towards you.
So is there a piece of equipment that you absolutely love and why? And what's your least favorite piece of equipment?
So I think the fact that I've spoke about it a lot, I do like the tri-field because it's a piece of equipment that contractors rely on when the like, you know, how much whatever it is emitting from a radio mast and stuff like that. So it's a recognized piece of equipment in the real world. Like if you've got a K2 and you've got a tri-field next door to you, the K2 does pretty light. Whereas if you want a definitive answer of how much EMF there, you actually get a spike on it and it tells you how much EMF you've got in a particular area. Mm-hmm. So I do like the tri-field. Some of the other devices I'm a little bit more dubious about. Okay, the K2 is a basic version. But yeah, people laugh and joke about cat balls. But if you use them in the right environment, they're quite effective. Like I've said, we have a vibration device that we'll put a cat ball on top. Mm-hmm. So if one goes off without the other, yeah, if you bang it and both of them go off and then one goes up, so like, what is it? Do I really hate any pieces of equipment? Mm. I don't think so, because people do use them for the wrong reasons, or they use them in such a way where it can be manipulated. If you've got a public event and it's kind of like, excuse the pun, but the event's dying a death, and you could literally get a cell phone and wave it past a REM pod for it to go off. So it's probably not the equipment, but it's the mentality of the people using it. Hi. Hubby's just walking past.
He was.
Yeah. That's Kat's hubby, not
yes.
mine. Yeah, so I think it's probably humans is the thing that I don't like. I'm a firm believer in walking around a place by myself, because I think I kind of get more experiences when I'm by myself than what I do when I'm with a team. But it's the human's ability to fake real evidence. So bad piece of equipment, teammates, humans. I'm putting it. Not that I don't like my teammates; they're great, but.
And sometimes, if you're by yourself, less contamination from your teammates. Correct.
And the very first investigation that we went on in a team was at the SDG jail in Cornwall, which is to the side of Ottawa. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been there, do you know where? Have you been there?
No.
So you walk into the prison, the jail, and you've got a corridor. And then the corridor splits left and right. So solitary confinement is a very small room on the right-hand side. And then if you go left, you can go down the stairs and go further into the jail. But if you carry on and then turn left, you're in a 6-cell area, which was called the Hell's Angel wing. Mm. And I'm in, like, Logan had gone left, Valter had gone right, and I'd gone straight on. So I'm probably a good 30 or 40 feet away from both of them. And I'm doing my normal spiel where, if there's anybody here, please make a sign, make a sound. I'm here with the utmost respect, all that kind of stuff. And after I said, if you could make a noise, I would very much appreciate that. In review afterwards, I heard a double breath, and it was like a, and I'm like, hang on a minute. Did I just, and it was a double breath. And like, I spent 13 years as a paramedic. I know how people breathe. Mm-hmm. I know how I breathe. And I know damn well that it was not me breathing. But there was definitely something there. So one thing that we also do, which makes it even more like true based in that you can debunk or confirm something. I have 2 different people, and I will send my audio, my video to them. Now, one of them, and he did it with this double breath, he actually broke it down into voice waves. So he went, this is your voice wave, and this is your double breath. And that was not you. And then I sent it to my other buddy, and like he proved that the audio hadn't been tampered with, it hadn't been added, all that kind of stuff. So nobody can say what it was or what it wasn't. We don't say that it's a cracking EVP, but we put it on the unexplained pile. We're not saying something's haunted or this. Yeah, it's good evidence. It's unexplained because we cannot. And like I've had experts look at this recording and they can't explain it, so it's unexplained.
Yep. What do you think mainstream science misunderstands most about paranormal research?
Asking me all these big questions. You do realize I've been to work today. I'm tired. My brain's been working all day. So it's not necessarily mainstream science, but like mainstream TV and stuff like that. I'm going to say it, and it's going to bug me to say it. Not everything is a frigging demon.
Yeah.
Right. Stop using the D word. But there's a lot of stuff that science does not know. Like, for example, completely random fact. Yeah, we haven't investigated like 3/4 of the oceans, for example. Yeah. So there's a lot of but if the technology has not been invented yet, there's no way that we can prove what we're looking for when a lot of people think it doesn't exist.
Yep.
And if you've got a scientific mind, you're going to be as skeptic as hell. You've got an academical mind, you're going to be as skeptic as hell. Until you get that one experience that you cannot explain. And then it's like, well, I can't explain it. Well, it could have been this. It could have been a lot of things. Like I say, yeah, I said that at the beginning of the show. It can be so many things, but it's rational that it can't be possible to be these. I had another incident where something happened. I got this noise and I heard it with my own two ears, live, so to speak. And some guy said, "Oh, it was a squeak of your shoe." No, it wasn't. It was nothing like, oh, it might have been a car going past. And I went, you're 40 foot from the road. It's not, yeah. So all these scientific people will say it could be this, it could be this, it could be this. Yeah, but what's the chances of it actually being that? Unless you can prove it. If you've got squeaky shoes on, and we all know what squeaky shoes sound like, and then you get a psst, that's not a squeak. Yeah. And that's what happened. Somebody like literally psst me, and I'm like, I've got my body cam on. I turn around, there's nobody there. So I can't explain that. I send it off to other people to try and break it down to see if they can. Okay, well, it could have been this. You can hear a smoke detector chirping in the background, because it needed its battery. So we know it wasn't that. It didn't sound anything like it. You can hear the furnace in the background. Again, it sounded nothing like it, and furnaces don't go psst every now and then. So
if they did, something's really wrong.
Exactly. So you're not going to put these kind of things on this thing and go, okay, well, it could be that. Well, okay. Have you ever known a furnace to do that? Well, no. Well, it's not that then, is it? Yeah. Have you ever known a car to do that? Maybe if a car's got a puncture in the tire, but you'd have to be right up close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it would be a constant psst of air escaping. Wouldn't just be one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, science has got a lot to learn, but then we've also got to stop putting all this fake crap on TV and on YouTube as well.
I know.
Because people that are really interested in it, and like there's so many Facebook pages where it's go, look at this picture. What do you see? Nothing. Oh, but my mum died like 6 weeks ago, and this light it's called lens flare, and they don't understand the science side of it. That you can have so many different things that will happen with a camera that are part of the camera's like normal settings or something that will cause different things to happen in pictures or in video or even on audio. you could brush past something and you hear a sound, but if you can rationally explore, well, that sounds like I was brushed past the table. And when I had that psst noise, you literally see me walking past the table a couple of times to try to replicate it. But then it's like, well, it didn't sound like I brushed past a table or a chair.
Yeah.
So what was it? And you can't explain it. But I do have a really cool theory that I like telling people, changing the subject just a little bit.
Sure.
So if there's a demon in a room, what is the most common thing that happens to people if demons exist? They get scratched.
Oh, yes, yes.
And they always say it's demonic. Right. Lee's going to give you a theory. And I love this theory.
I can't wait to hear it.
Other people love this theory as well. And I've actually had it, some scientific people are like, I love this theory. So if one of us is deceased and we know each other when we were both alive, and the deceased person tries to call the other person by their name, you're not going to hear them, hopefully. Well, you might do, but mostly you're not going to hear them. So the natural thing to do in real life is to shout louder. Cat, to get your attention.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen, what then is the next natural thing for you to do?
They're going to try and touch the person.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Yeah.
So you put the deceased, the ghost, whatever, puts the hand out to touch that person, either on the arm or whatever, and it could be that energy that is passing from the spirit realm to the human, so to speak, that is causing friction or causing something on that skin for it to cause marks. Doesn't necessarily mean it's benevolent or every kind of demon that people think of, but it could just be a natural phenomena of a paranormal phenomena of a spirit trying to get your attention by going to touch you, and the transference of energy is actually causing marks on that body, and it looks like it's scratches.
I've been saying similar things like that for years. Yeah.
Yeah. And this
well
is
done.
Yeah.
I
So
like that.
people that listen when this goes out, I want to know your theories. Please share them with me, because
Yes,
I think there could be something into this.
I agree. Totally agree. Yeah. Do you think a collaboration between science and paranormal investigators is possible? Like, I mean, having scientists and investigators actually investigating together?
Well, there are a couple of TV shows where there is a scientist or a doctor or whatever he is actually goes out with them, and he kind of has that rational head, but then he's also then had things happen to him that he can't explain. So if you can get somebody that's got not necessarily a scientific mind or an academical mind, but to have a rational mind. So Joe Debunker, who likes debunking things, don't just say that wasn't a ghost just for the sake of not saying it. Think of a rational explanation of what it could be, try to duplicate it, or then try to rule that example out. So, because I spent 25 years in the emergency services, I know how people breathe. I know how people don't breathe.
Yep.
So my example where I heard a double breath was a perfect example of it happening to somebody that knew what it was or what it wasn't. I knew it wasn't me. I knew it wasn't my two colleagues because they were too far away, but whatever it was right close next door to me for it to happen. So, I absolutely agree that more scientists should get involved, but they've got to be rational about it. They can't just go, oh, yeah, that was a flock of seagulls flying past. It's like, it's -40. Don't be stupid.
Great band.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's the 80s pun. Yeah. So, but by all means, give us what you think it might be. Like, Kieran O'Keefe is really good for that. He will say, well, it could be this, and he'll try and give an explanation. But it's the times when they go, well, it could be this, but they're just coming out with random, like, suggestions where it's like, oh, it could be that. No. Yeah. Have you ever known a car or whatever to make a noise like that? It doesn't happen unless your car's really dodgy. So having somebody with a scientific mind or a rational mind is great for every team, but make sure that you get the right kind of person.
True. What questions do you think more people would ask about the paranormal?
Is there anybody there? But
I was just thinking of that.
You've got to treat ghosts and spirits, if they exist, of course. You've got to treat them with the respect that you would treat a human being. Don't just go, is there anybody there? I'd like to communicate, all this kind of stuff. Try and have a normal conversation with them, or even have a conversation with each other. Yeah, what did you have for dinner? Well, I had roast beef. I love roast beef. Oh, did you have a Yorkshire pudding? And if you're investigating a restaurant, that may be key words that get some activity. So you've got to kind of ask the right words for the right location. Yes. Because if you think about it, every Friday and Saturday night, people go out to all these locations and the spirits are going, oh my God, it's another paranormal investigation team. Hey, John, let's see how long it takes for them to ask if there's anybody there. Oh, great. Yeah. Okay. Here's $5. You win. And it must get, if spirits and ghosts do exist, it must be tedious for them to go to a location that is so popular that every man and his dog turns up Friday and Saturday night religiously, and they all ask the same damn questions. Yep. And here's another thing. I'm on my pedestal now and carrying on. When you go on an investigation, do you do one area for 15 minutes and then you go to another area, and then if it's active, another part of your team will go and try and see if they get some activity? Can you imagine how much that's going to piss a ghost off? You start talking to somebody and they go, oh, I like these people. They're being friendly. They're being courteous. And then somebody else comes, right, the last team got something. I want you people to perform for me. They're not performing monkeys. Yeah. So that's what you've also got to realize as well. Some people may think I'm crazy coming out, but it's truth facts.
I agree. Yeah.
Treat the spirits like they're real human beings, because potentially one day in the past they were.
Yep.
So say thank you for coming to their property, because it's their home. Say, comment on how nice the property is. Talk about the weather if it's cold outside, because if they're local, they will have experienced warm and cold weather as well.
Yep.
But don't just ask the same boring questions. Because if I'm a ghost and somebody starts asking me that, I'm going to go, right, I know where that expensive camera is. I'm going to go and knock it off the table.
Yep.
Until you start having a conversation with me.
Or if there's a digital recorder that just erase everything.
Yes, exactly. I'm gonna drain that recorder now.
Yeah. Last question. What advice would you give to investigators trying to take a more scientific approach?
Do your research, but not for the location. Do your research in what you are trying to achieve. So what I mean by that is I'm kind of like the science guy, if you like. So my cases that are just here, you can't really say. I've got my trifield in it. I've got my black mold. I've got like carbon monoxide. I've even got like a radiation detector. Use equipment that is going to make your job easier. So if you can use something that then you can debunk and go, okay, well, this has happened here, but there's all dodgy wiring behind this wall. You know that you're not going to go anywhere near this area because of that particular reason.
Mm-hmm.
So do your research in what you want to achieve. Don't buy all the bells and whistle gadgets, because a lot of the time, if they put the word ghost or spirit in front of it, it's going to cost you more money.
Oh, yeah.
Buy to what you can afford. And if you can only afford an audio recorder and a camera, a video camera, great.
Mm-hmm.
Fill your boots, because that's where you're going to get most of your evidence. All these gadgets, the REM pods, the cat balls, and all these kind of things can be manipulated by normal everyday items, radios, cell phones, TVs, microwaves. So try to stay away from the bells and whistles and just use logical equipment. Back in the day, people had pen and paper and they wrote things down. Yeah. So think about the basics before you start going all shiny and gleamy and like, oh, this makes a pretty noise. Because yes, they can be good in the right environment, but people will buy them just for the sake of buying them and go, look, I've got this. And if you do this, it goes off. Okay. But what does the lights, different lights mean? Well, I don't know. I've not looked at it. And a typical thing for a REM pod is the different lights will go off depending on how close it is. So you know how close a particular entity, object, spirit, whatever is.
Mm-hmm.
But learn about it. Don't just buy the equipment to make yourself look good. It's like having the paramedic with all different pouches around and he's just come out of training school.
Mm-hmm.
What's that for? I don't know. I just thought it would look good. Learn about your equipment. If you buy a video camera, learn it inside out. I bought a new video camera and I did not realize it had an extra mic on top that I had to change the settings.
Oh.
So the first investigation I went on was dead silent on the footage because I had to go into the settings to turn the external mic on. Make sure you know how to use your equipment.
Yep.
Also, look into how your equipment can fail and learn, if you're going to be taking stills and stuff like that, learn what lens flare is, learn what orbs can be, bugs or dust or what, dust reflection. Learn all that, and then you're going to be a much better investigator than somebody who just goes in it for shits and giggles.
And invest in battery companies.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah. Well, Lee, thank you so very much. I really enjoyed this. It was great to talk to you. Could you tell the audience where they can find you?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
other than in your chair.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you wanted my home address then. So, please send me stuff. Yeah. So, S.I.P.A Canada, S.I.P.A S.I.P.A. Canada is on YouTube. We are on Facebook. We are on TikTok, and we are on Instagram. And if you type in S.I.P.A Paranormal Chronicles with all the dots, you will find the website for the podcast. And we also launch them on YouTube every week and on all your favorite podcast locations.
No. Well, thank you again, sir. Hang tight if you don't mind. I'll say my farewells to the audience.
Hang tight. Okay. Kat, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
So a huge thank you to my special guest, Lee Hatfield, tonight, and to you, my wonderful haunted hearts, for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I also want to thank UPRN 107.7 New Orleans and 105.3 the Gulf Coast for carrying the show. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It truly means the world to me. And if you'd like to be on the show, have guest topics or ideas, or just want to say hello, drop me an email at paranormalheart13@gmail.com. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other. Much love to you all.